What if the most dangerous weapon in fiction wasn't a gun, a missile, or even a bomb? What if it could open the gates of hell or make the person holding it nearly impossible to defeat? Fiction has given us weapons that don't just win battles, they change the rules of the world around them. And today, we are ranking the deadliest weapons ever created in fiction, from weapons that can wipe out entire groups in seconds to artifacts powerful enough to threaten civilizations. But here's the catch. We are not ranking them by how famous they are. We are looking at what they can actually do, the destruction they've demonstrated, how difficult they are to stop, and just how much power they put into the hands of whoever controls them.
What took you so long?
Starting our countdown is a weapon that was feared because people believed it could bring about the end of the world. The Spear of Destiny is terrifying simply because it exists. According to legend, this is the very spear that pierced Christ during the crucifixion.
Jesus didn't die from being nailed to a cross. He was killed by a soldier's spear.
Spear of Destiny.
In Constantine, that ancient relic becomes one of the most sought-after objects on Earth because of what it could do. In the wrong hands, the spear isn't just a religious artifact. It's the key to opening the door between Earth and Hell. That's exactly why so many powerful forces race to find it first. Unlike conventional weapons, it doesn't rely on bullets or brute force. Its true danger comes from the catastrophic chain of events it can trigger. If activated as intended, it could allow hell's influence to spill directly into the human world, throwing the balance between heaven and hell into complete chaos. That's an apocalyptic threat few weapons can even claim. Thankfully, its destructive potential depends entirely on who controls it. Without the right circumstances, it's little more than an ancient relic, but give it to someone with the wrong intentions and the consequences could reshape the entire planet. As dangerous as that sounds, our next entry delivers instant judgment the moment it's opened. Indiana Jones spends an entire movie trying to keep one object out of Nazi hands, and by the end, you understand exactly why.
If it is there, Tanis, then it is something that man was not meant to disturb. Death has always surrounded it. It is not of this earth.
The Ark of the Covenant is a weapon powered by something far beyond human understanding. For most of the film, it remains nothing more than a mysterious golden chest wrapped in ancient legend. In the movie, everyone believes whoever possesses it will become unstoppable, and they are only half right. Because the real power isn't in owning the Ark, but in opening it. When Belloc finally removes the lid, what begins as an eerie display of glowing spirits transforms into one of cinema's most unforgettable moments. And within seconds, divine energy tears through the entire camp with faces melting, bodies ripped apart, and even those who sought to control its power are all erased almost instantly. Meanwhile, Indiana Jones survives because he never looks at it. The Ark doesn't discriminate based on strength or technology. Every other weapon becomes completely meaningless in its presence. Its destructive range is relatively small compared to the universe-ending weapons still ahead, but inside that limited area, almost nothing survives. Our next entry is so small and laughable when you see it, but it's crazy what happens when someone pulls the trigger.
Your favorite weapon?
That?
Yep.
If someone handed you the noisy cricket without any explanation, you'd probably mistake it for a toy. It's barely larger than a finger and has no intimidating barrel. Nothing about it suggests overwhelming firepower, which is exactly what makes it so dangerous. When Agent J receives the weapon for the first time, he's visibly disappointed.
Hey, Kay, no, come on, man. You get a Series 4 deatomizer, I get a little midget cricket. Oh, yeah. I feel like I'm gonna break this damn thing.
Compared to the massive alien guns surrounding it, this tiny pistol feels like a joke. The moment he fires it, that's your first clue this weapon is hiding something ridiculous. Despite its size, the noisy cricket releases an energy blast powerful enough to obliterate targets many times larger than itself. Later, it proves exactly that by taking down one of the film's deadliest alien threats with a single shot. The biggest challenge isn't surviving the blast, it's surviving the recoil, and only someone prepared for its kick can actually use it effectively. In the hands of an inexperienced shooter, it can be almost as dangerous to the person firing it as the target. Even so, its incredible power-to-size ratio makes it one of the most memorable weapons in science fiction. And our next entry is so destructive, it earned one of the most unforgettable names in gaming and movie history.
Holy shit.
The BFG 9000 doesn't waste your time. Its initials have become legendary among gamers, and by the time it made its way to the big screen, its reputation was already large. Now, there's two versions of BFG 9000. One is from the first 205 Doom movie, while the other is from the second version in 2019. This isn't a weapon built for precision, it's built for total annihilation, and instead of firing bullets or missiles, the BFG unleashes a gigantic sphere of unstable energy.
Fires a green burst of plasma instead of bullets.
You mean this is a ray gun? Like a real live ray gun? Why aren't you all using this weapon?
Something to do with the plasma cartridges used for ammo? Don't hold the charge for long?
Against ordinary enemies, using it is complete overkill. Against hordes of monsters, that's exactly what it was designed for. Of course, that kind of power comes with a price. The weapon consumes enormous amounts of energy, making every shot incredibly valuable. Fire too early and you may not have enough left when you truly need it. Even with that limitation, few handheld weapons can match its raw destructive output. But impressive as it is, the next weapon shows that sometimes all you need is a lot of bullets. If you've ever wondered what the perfect sci-fi assault rifle looks like, chances are you're picturing the M41A Pulse rifle.
This is an M41A Pulse rifle, 10mm, with an over and under 30mm pump-action grenade launcher.
Everything about it screams efficiency, compactability, reliability, and deadly. Unlike many futuristic movie weapons that rely on flashy gimmicks, this rifle focuses putting overwhelming firepower into the hands of ordinary soldiers, and it succeeds spectacularly. Equipped with rapid-fire armor-piercing rounds and an underslung grenade launcher, the Pulse rifle allows colonial marines to unleash a relentless storm of destruction without slowing down. When the marines first descend into the xenomorph hive, their confidence is high because they are armed with the best military technology humanity has to offer. Then the aliens attack, and within moments, it becomes complete chaos from every direction as hundreds of rounds fill the darkness. Even against one of cinema's deadliest species, the rifle performs remarkably well, giving humanity its best chance at survival. But ammunition runs out, and when it does, the balance shifts immediately. That's what keeps the Pulse rifle from climbing higher on this list. It's devastating, but it's still bound by the limitations of conventional warfare. Still, for a weapon carried by ordinary humans, it's one of the greatest combat rifles ever imagined. Unfortunately for the colonial marines, the next weapon belongs to the hunters, and they never miss. Imagine fighting an enemy you can't see. Now imagine that enemy can eliminate you before you even realize you're being hunted. That's exactly what makes the Predator's plasma caster so terrifying. Mounted directly on the Predator's shoulder, this futuristic cannon tracks targets with incredible precision. Once it locks on, escape becomes almost impossible. Unlike a rifle that depends on steady aim, the plasma caster works almost like it's thinking for itself. A glowing trio of targeting lasers quietly settles onto its victim, then everything explodes. The plasma bolt travels with devastating speed, punching through everything on its way as though they barely exist. But even advanced alien technology has its limits. The weapon relies on the Predator's targeting systems and energy reserves, meaning damage to its equipment can reduce its effectiveness. The plasma caster turned the Predator into one of cinema's most feared hunters. The next weapon was designed for something far stranger, something humanity couldn't even touch.
You can come on out.
Ghosts don't care how powerful your bullets are. They pass straight through. Which means when New York suddenly finds itself crawling with supernatural threats, every other weapon becomes completely useless, and this is where the proton pack stands out.
Working, Ray. I looked at the trap, Ray.
Turn your streams off as soon as I close the trap. Get ready. I'm closing it. Now!
When you first look at it, it looks less like military equipment and more like an unstable science experiment strapped to someone's back. Each proton pack contains a miniature particle accelerator capable of generating an incredibly powerful stream of charged energy. Instead of destroying ghosts outright, the beam locks onto them, restraining entities that normally ignore the laws of physics. It's an astonishing concept. A weapon built specifically to fight something that shouldn't even exist. Using it, however, is anything but easy. The energy stream thrashes violently as it connects with its target, forcing Ghostbusters to wrestle with their own equipment just to stay in control. Then there's one rule everyone remembers: never cross the streams. Early in the film, Egon warns that doing so could trigger catastrophic consequences capable of tearing reality apart.
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
Naturally, that's exactly what happens during the final battle. Facing the godlike entity known as Gozer, the Ghostbusters ignore every safety warning they've ever been given and cross the streams anyway. The resulting explosion tears through dimensions, collapsing Gozer's physical form and saving New York from total destruction. It's one of the greatest examples of ordinary people defeating an impossible enemy using nothing but science, teamwork, and a willingness to gamble everything. Compared to the battlefield weapons we've already covered, the proton pack is highly specialized. Very few weapons in fiction can compete. But the next entry leaves science behind completely. It's just a single magical object capable of deciding the fate of an entire wizarding world.
That's the Elder Wand. Most powerful wand in the world. With that, we'd be invincible.
Power isn't always measured by the size of the explosion. Sometimes it's measured by how impossible it is to stop the person holding the weapon. That's exactly why the Elder Wand became the most feared wand in the wizarding world. Forged centuries before Harry Potter was even born, it's one of the legendary Deathly Hallows, surrounded by stories so unbelievable that many dismissed them as fairy tales until people started dying for it.
Where with the Elder Wand in hand, he killed a wizard with whom he had once quarreled. Drunk with the power that the Elder Wand had given him, he bragged of his invincibility. But that night, another wizard stole the wand and slit the brother's throat for good measure.
The wand doesn't stay loyal forever. It chooses whoever defeats its current owner, creating an endless cycle of betrayal, ambition, and violence. Its bloody reputation grows with every generation.
While you live, the Elder Wand cannot truly be mine.
Wars are fueled by it, and some of the greatest witches and wizards who ever lived spent their lives chasing it, convinced that possessing the Elder Wand means possessing absolute power. That obsession ultimately reaches Voldemort. Believing the wand belongs to him, he launches one final campaign to eliminate Harry Potter once and for all. But there's one detail he never understands. The Elder Wand doesn't obey fear, it obeys allegiance. Because its true master is someone else, Voldemort's final spell backfires, ending the very reign he believed would last forever. The next weapon wins battles without anyone realizing they've already lost. Most weapons destroy cities, but the One Ring destroys people, and that's what makes it so terrifying. When you look at it, it's nothing more than a simple golden ring. It's just an ordinary piece of jewelry, which is exactly how it tricks people. Forged by the Dark Lord Sauron inside the fires of Mount Doom, the ring secretly contains a portion of his own power. Its purpose isn't to kill, it's to control. Anyone who wears it gains incredible abilities. They become invisible and their lifespan stretches far beyond normal limits. But every second they possess it, the ring quietly takes something in return, either their judgment, their morality, and eventually their soul. No one escapes its influence. Even Gandalf refuses to touch it, knowing its temptation is simply too great.
I'm giving it to you. Don't tempt me, Frodo. I dare not take it. Not even to keep it safe.
Galadriel admits she could become a terrifying ruler if she accepted it. Now, there's also Boromir, who begins with noble intentions, but slowly convinces himself that using the ring is the only way to save his people. By the time he realizes what's happening, it's already too late. Perhaps the greatest victim is Gollum. Centuries of possession twist both his body and his mind until almost nothing remains of the person he once was. That's the ring's true weapon. It lets greed, fear, and ambition do the work. Entire kingdoms collapse because powerful people believe they can control it. In the end, the ring survives countless battles that destroy swords, castles, and armies. It can only be destroyed where it was created, in the fires of Mount Doom. See you in part 2, where we continue from number 9 all the way to number 1.